on behalf of...
Battery just occurred here at Washington Library, 400 South on State Street. Ariel says male black, 25, 5'8", black hoodie, black pants, attacked the librarian. Security is chasing him on the escalator. Paramedics waiting on the police here at Washington Library, 400 South State.
The Harold Washington Library Center. Beautiful, imposing, massive, and at first sight, sometimes a little frightening.
This was a scene on Plymouth Court outside the Harold Washington Library. Police tell us several people, possibly 9 women, reported being hit just before 9 this morning. Paramedics rushed some of them to the hospital. It's not known what sparked that violence, and the attacker got away.
Enjoy having the visitors come into our library and proud to show off this wonderful, wonderful world-class facility.
It's horrifying.
For Lisa Benacchia, it poses genuine security questions.
And you just let them look at books, and you're wandering around, and you're expecting that they're going to be safe in the library, and to know that something like that happened, it's horrifying. Horrifying in general, but to know that it's in such a safe spot where you expect that your child will be safe is awful.
Police said he was banned from that library, but Chicago Public Libraries say that was not the case. He was asked to leave after he was spotted gawking at female patrons. The police had to come and remove him. They told him not to come back for a month, but they said they don't have the legal jurisdiction unless there's a court order. And in that case, there wasn't one.
They're supposed to be a safe, quiet place for learning.
There are security guards. You kind of have to go through like a metal detector. I feel like they should never go to a place like that and like have to fear for something to go wrong.
But across the USA,
Put your hands behind your back.
many libraries are finding themselves under siege.
Stop.
Fights,
Stop. You're under arrest.
arrests, and deadly violence.
This is the library. Somebody is stabbing someone. Please come, hurry. There's a lot of blood.
According to police records, here at the San Diego Central Library, there have been over 500 calls to the cops in the past year for reports ranging from drug use and theft to violent crimes, including a fatal shooting.
We also found plenty of homeless people sleeping there.
You have individuals that want to talk loud and intimidate people, but we try to alleviate that and move them along.
Vincent Facey spent 20 years as an NYPD cop patrolling the gritty streets of New York City.
The last thing I thought that I would ever have to do was draw on someone in the library.
We were just hoping he would leave peacefully before anything happened, and he did end up leaving, but on his way out he kicked a window.
At the Castro Branch Library, Nicole Germain had to try and handle what she says was a disturbed man with a weapon.
He decided to wield that weapon at a group of preschoolers sitting on the ground with their teachers.
Today's demonstrators called for guards at all of the city's branches to help handle these issues.
You know, I've lost a lot of staff who have left TPL because they don't want to deal.
Cameron and Ayla work together in the Toronto Reference Library, the largest branch in the system and the one with the most incidents.
Most of the time it is someone who has been chewed up and spit out by society, and they're at the end of their rope.
I think there's so much pressure for librarians to become social workers. They want us to wear a million hats. You know, we're security guards now, and they also want us to be social workers.
Putting staff on edge because they never know what to expect.
It's not always individuals fighting with staff or abusing staff. Sometimes it's people with each other, often over computers, because a lot of people living on the street don't have access to a computer, but you know, time's limited, so you'll get these fights.
Public libraries are committed to keeping their doors open to everyone, even when that becomes more challenging.
I would say since 2017, we've probably seen a tripling of violent incidents.
A man was also brutally attacked outside of a branch in July. The union explains that the group of 8 to 12 individuals followed him back into the library where they attempted to continue their assault while he was bleeding on the floor. And while the bleeding patron was shielded by staff, the group hurled books at them and screamed profanity. The city says they're modifying hours as a precaution to keep staff and patrons safe.
Library officials say there's now a police presence at the library because staff members are being attacked 2 times more than last year.
We have seen a trend in the assaults towards library staff increasing.
Library user Angela Adams says over the years she has noticed an increase in homeless people using library resources and says she believes it's because there is a shelter nearby.
They're having to leave during the day, or they're leaving because they don't want to be there, so they come to a place more suitable for them as far as them trying to get some rest.
The San Antonio Public Library Patron Code of Conduct states people cannot be loud or disruptive, they cannot be intoxicated or under the influence of drugs, and they also cannot sleep in the library. Many times, Adams says homeless people who use the library don't follow these rules.
During a library event last year, Elizondo says a patron attacked him.
So I got kicked in the jaw really hard, and I went flying with a guitar and onto the hard floor. It was just the craziest thing. I got assaulted while I was doing my job.
Library clerk LaToya Jones.
I got PTSD, it's hard.
Remembers an event.
Somebody threw a chemical irritant in my face.
That shouldn't happen at a library.
I ain't gonna say we all don't feel safe, but we feel uneasy.
Jones was picking up trash outside the Shawnee Library on April 13th when someone snuck up behind her, threw a bottle of fake blood in her eyes, and hit her.
They hit me with either a gun or a stick.
She said that she was blind and that she'd fallen outside the branch and she needed help.
Co-worker and union president Catherine Skaggs rushed outside and they filed an incident report with library admin. When they called police,
they didn't come at all.
The 17-branch system had 533 incident reports in 2022, ranging from personal medical issues to more serious incidents like fights and weapons violations. We also told you about the steps the library committed to, such as a new security company, installing security cameras at the Shawnee branch, and a new website to track incidents. How has 2023 been?
Very rough so far.
We found this year the library system is on track for more incidents, with 218 in the first 3.5 months.
I think there's so much pressure for librarians to become social workers. They want us to wear a million hats. You know, we're security guards now, and they also want us to be social workers.
Battery test occurred here at Washington Library, 400 South on State Street. Aerial says a male black, 25, 5'8", black hoodie, black pants, attacked the librarian.